In this video, we're going to cover how you can use product inserts to drive more reviews, provide better customer service, and drive higher customer lifetime value, all within Amazon's terms of service, so you don't get suspended or kicked off the platform. So what is a product insert? Well, a product insert is a piece of paper or some kind of document, maybe heavy cardstock inside a product packaging that's calling out to the customer in some way and most likely inviting them to take some action, right? Whether it's just reading this product insert or maybe going to a website or emailing somewhere or messaging the brand, right? That's kind of what a product insert is. The goal is really to create that connection for the customer, right? You can use it to potentially drive reviews, drive people to your own website, provide great support, ultimately increase your lifetime value of your customer, right? They're going to maybe buy again if it's a repeatable purchase type product. And so that's kind of what the goal of a product insert is. And that's why they can be so valuable to brands that sell in all kinds of channels, not just Amazon. So let's first talk about what Amazon specifically does not allow on a product insert. Amazon explicitly says that you cannot influence or impact the feedback a customer leaves in the Amazon community.
Amazon's selling policies don't allow inserts that would influence or impact the feedback a customer leaves in the Amazon community, including offering compensation for product reviews.
What does Amazon community mean? Well, that covers everything from product reviews that you see on a page, right? Seller feedback ratings, which can help influence there's multiple sellers who's going to get the buy box, right? And you definitely cannot offer things like any kind of compensation, free gifts, gift cards, refunds, outside payments, anything like that to facilitate a review, to provide a review, right? And here's the thing, that's not a surprise. Amazon's had that kind of language for years. You know, they've had it through multiple other kind of channels as well, right? Specifically thinking about buyer-seller messages, right? When Amazon cracked down specifically a couple of years ago on the language you can use in those buyer-seller messages, and what you can say and cannot say, and you can't offer certain things in exchange for a review. And then also, again, a year or two back, the popular rise of kind of mini chat workflows and getting customers from social to opt in and get the email address, provide a purchase, and then maybe send them a rebate or money back outside of Amazon for review, right? That was very popular. Amazon shut down a lot of those companies that were facilitating those through lawsuits. And so that's not a surprise, right? Amazon does not want the trust that they have with the end customer to be violated by fraudulent reviews and things like that. So that's why they have such strict and hard language on those kind of things, right? The other thing they say you cannot do is you can't ask them to contact you outside of Amazon's buyer-seller messaging service. So you have to, your insert's supposed to say, if you have a question or comment about this, you have to message us through your Amazon platform, right? And it says also, all your employees and third-party marketing companies must know this as well. And this is really where I have a problem with it, right? Because as a brand, as a company, you're selling most likely in multiple channels. You're not just selling on Amazon. If you have a private label product, maybe you're only on Amazon. But if you're a brand and you're selling in retail, maybe you have product, you're in 1,000 Walmart stores, you're meeting with a buyer from Costco next month, right? And you're growing your brand and you produce these things at mass, at scale. You produce thousands of units at a time. You're not maybe diverting or differentiating your Amazon packaging versus your retail packaging and what goes in what box, right? It's mass market. It's for everyone, right? So kind of unrealistic for Amazon to say you can only contact them through Amazon and that's going to go everywhere. So again, I think it's a little heavy-handed and doesn't really make sense in my opinion. So let's talk about what Amazon does technically allow, right?
You are able to add inserts that thank customers for their purchase and request they leave a review based on their experience.
They said it on a product insert, you can have them and you can thank customers, right? It makes kind of sense. But you can also actually ask them to leave a review based on their experience, based on the customer's experience. So you can't ask them to leave a positive review or a review only if they've had a great experience, something like that. You have to kind of blanket it and say based on your experience, right? Amazon does say they actually monitor these inserts, making sure the products are in compliance. I don't really believe that at all. Amazon's not checking products come in the fulfillment center either the first time or the millionth time, right? They don't have the scale for that. It doesn't make sense. Now, I will say that if they're alerted to someone abusing the system, right? A bad actor, or someone reports a brand for doing this, they most likely have the option, and again, it's probably in the terms of service, they can go into the warehouse, open up a product, and review that product insert and see if it does actually violate their terms of service, right? They do also say as a seller, you are responsible for everything inside the product, not just the product, but also in the inserts and the packaging. So putting the onus back on the brand of the seller. They also say if your insert violates their terms of service, then you actually have to remove all your inventory from Amazon's fulfillment centers if you're using FBA. And if you're using FBM, you actually have to remove the inserts before shipping out the item, right? Very heavy-handed. Doesn't make a lot of sense in my mind. But again, it's Amazon. Want to be very strict and protect their ecosystem and the customer-Amazon relationship. So let's use a few examples here, right? So years ago, I bought a Keurig coffee machine on Amazon. I get it sent to my house. I open it up, and what do I see inside? Product inserts, right? What are these product inserts wanting me to do? They're wanting me to go to Keurig's website and buy K-Cups, right? They're going to capture my information. They're going to get better margins. They're going to get a higher lifetime value by doing that, right? And so they're doing that, though, in all their channels. Not just doing it on Amazon. They're doing it everywhere, right? So that's a product insert. That's directing customers away from Amazon, which Amazon doesn't want technically. But it's also just someone bought that product, and that's the brand saying, here's how you get the full value and use of the product, right? So kind of a gray area, but I'm more likely to support Keurig's argument in this scenario, right? Not Amazon's. You know, you'll see products you buy and they ask you to register the product for support or for extending the warranty, right? And if it's a legitimate product and that's a real thing, yeah, you're going to do that. You're going to go onto the website, put in your information. That brand's now going to have your contact information outside of Amazon, again, which Amazon doesn't want. We have a client that we work with that actually used insert cards to help educate the customer on how to use the product, right? It was a lawn care spray that had to be applied in a very particular way and it had to have certain steps to it. So it was on the product packaging and on the listing and everywhere else. But we wanted customers to understand when they open that product, they had to use this in a very certain way, right? Or else it wasn't going to work for them. So that product insert was there to educate the customer on how to use the product, how to find success in using it. And also on the back, there was a QR code that directed the customer to the website, right? And so again, informing them, sending the website, learning more on how they can apply it, because not everything obviously fits the insert card, but obviously sending them to an outside site, which again, all these brands do. And it makes sense for brands to continue to do that, in my opinion, right? It's leading to a better customer brand connection, and it's leading to a higher, again, lifetime value of the customer for the brand. So, in summary, I would, in my personal opinion, working in the Amazon space for years, I would say product inserts are fine. As long as they're not egregiously violating Amazon's terms of service, asking for product reviews, right? Asking for a certain thing in exchange for review, whatever it may be. As long as you're not violating those terms of service, you're fine to be able to provide great support to your customers, provide a connection to your customers, and ultimately making them happy with their purchase, which is what you want, ultimately what Amazon wants as well.